On one day each year, the whole world stops to celebrate him. And on that same day, he spends part of it alone. Both of those things are true at the same time, on the same date, about the same man. His name climbs to the top of every feed. Messages arrive by the million from admirers and strangers who have never met him and never will, all sending the same warm wish to a man they feel they know. For a few hours, the planet that argues about Elon Musk every other day of the year sets it down and throws him a party. And at some point in the middle of that party, by the accounts of the people closest to him, he quietly steps out of it. He finds a room or a window or a stretch of dark sky and spends a little while by himself. He does one small thing he has done for as long as anyone can remember, and he makes one small wish, the same wish, every year, that he has never explained to a single living soul. This is what Elon Musk does alone on his birthday, and the one thing he keeps wishing for, that all the money on earth has never bought him. Start with the noise, because the noise is the part everyone sees. When you are one of the most famous people alive, your birthday stops being private. It becomes a kind of public weather. The date is known in every profile, every database. So when it arrives, the messages come like a tide that has been building all year and finally breaks across the shore. Happy birthday, the same two words in 100 languages from every country on the map. Some mean it deeply, some are only joining the moment. But the sheer volume of it is something almost no human in history has experienced. You would think that would be enough to fill anyone up. And here's the strange thing about that kind of love, the kind that arrives by the million from people who do not know you. It is real and touching, and also, in a particular way, hollow. None of those strangers know what kind of day he is actually having, whether he slept, what he is carrying, who he misses, which of the people he loves did or did not call. They are celebrating an idea of him, a figure, a name. And a man can be celebrated by an idea and still, underneath it, be waiting for one ordinary, specific person to pick up the phone. It was not always like this. There were birthdays long ago when no tide came in at all. The channel has told elsewhere the story of a lonely boy in Pretoria, so we will not walk all the way back through it here. But it matters, on this day of all days, to remember that the man whose birthday now stops the world began as a child whose birthdays sometimes passed almost unnoticed. A strange, dreaming, bullied boy is not usually the one with the crowded party. He is the one who learns early to keep his hopes for the day small, so the smallness of what arrives cannot disappoint him. That boy grew up. He crossed an ocean. He built the things he built. And the day that once passed almost unnoticed became one the entire planet observes. You might think that would heal the old ache, that enough birthday wishes arriving for enough years would finally fill the place the quiet childhood birthdays left empty. It does not work that way. It never does. The heart that learned at 8 to expect little from its birthday does not unlearn it because the numbers got bigger. A million strangers cannot reach the childhood-shaped place that only a few specific people were ever able to reach. And so the grown man, on his enormous public birthday, often feels that all this noise is somehow happening to someone else, while the boy he used to be sits quietly inside him, still keeping his hopes small. There is a person whose day this truly is, and it is not him. We forget this about birthdays. We treat them as belonging to the person who was born. But the day a child comes into the world is, first of all, the day a mother gives him to it. The anniversary of her labor, her fear, her hope. The most physical act of love a human can perform. Long before it was ever his day, it was hers. For Elon Musk, this date has meant something for more than half a century that it has never quite meant to the rest of the world. To everyone else, it is the birthday of a famous man. To her, it is the anniversary of the morning she first held him. A morning decades ago, when a young woman with an uncertain future looked down at her new son and felt the floor of her life shift. She remembers the day he was born the way mothers do, not as a date, but as a feeling. The weight of him, the first cry, the terror and the love arriving together, indistinguishable. And so every year, when the world lights up to celebrate her son, there is one person on earth for whom the day is not about the rockets or the fortune or the fame. For her it is, and always will be, the day she became his mother. He knows this. He has always known it. And it is part of why the day is so complicated for him. Because underneath the public noise, it is quietly the most intimate anniversary he has, belonging more than to anyone to the woman who has loved him longest. So at some point in the noise, he slips away. Not dramatically, not in a way anyone would notice. He simply does what he has always done when a day grows too loud. He finds the edge of it and steps just past it into a few minutes of quiet. What he does there is small, almost nothing by the standards of a life built out of enormous things. By the accounts of those who have been near him on these days, he sometimes finds a window and looks out for a while. He sometimes steps outside, if there is a sky worth looking at, and stands under it the way he has his whole life. The boy who wanted to leave the planet, now a man who has spent his life trying to give humanity somewhere else to go, pausing on his birthday to simply look up. And at some point in that quiet, he marks the day in his own private way. There is no crowd for this part, no cameras, no messages, no million strangers. Just a man, alone for a few minutes, on the one day supposed to be about him, doing the oldest birthday ritual there is. He makes a wish. Whether there is a candle or not, the people closest to him believe he does this, that somewhere in the quiet of every birthday, he stops and wishes for one specific thing. The same thing, year after year, decade after decade. And it is not what you would expect a man like him to wish for. You would expect him to wish for the things the world assumes he wants. To reach Mars, to win the argument he is in, to build the next impossible thing. The world assumes his deepest wishes are made of ambition, because ambition is the part of him it can see. But a man does not spend his one private birthday moment wishing for the things he already chases every other waking hour. The wish you make alone, when no one is watching and there is nothing to prove, is the truer one, the one underneath. And that wish, by every account of the man's deeper longings, has nothing to do with rockets or fortunes or being proven right. He wishes for time. That is the whole of it. Not more money. He has more than any person could spend in 1,000 lifetimes. Not more success. He has rewritten the meaning of the word. Not power, not recognition, not any of the things the strangers are celebrating. Time. More of the one currency that even he, with everything he commands, cannot manufacture, cannot purchase, cannot engineer more of. The single resource running out for him at exactly the same rate as for the rest of us, indifferent to his billions, immune to his genius. The thing his children need from him, the thing the people he loves have always needed, the thing he has spent his whole extraordinary life being too busy to give. On his birthday, alone, the most powerful man on earth wishes for the one thing he has never figured out how to keep. And here is the cruelty folded inside the wish. He wishes for time. And then, the moment the quiet ends, he walks back out and spends his time exactly as he always has, on the work. The next deadline, the next launch, the next impossible thing. The wish goes up into the dark, sincere and aching, and then the man who made it returns to the very pattern that guarantees it will never come true. This is not hypocrisy. It is sadder than that. A man who genuinely longs for a thing and genuinely cannot make himself choose it. He wishes for time with the people he loves, then gives that time to the work again. Not because he loves the work more, but because the work is the thing he knows how to do, and the people are the thing he never quite learned. The boy in the hard house was not taught how to be close. He was taught how to endure, how to achieve, how to build a fortress of accomplishment so high that nothing could reach him. He mastered it. He became the greatest builder of his generation. But the skills that let a man conquer the world are not the skills that let him sit still in a room with someone he loves. He was never taught the second kind, and so, year after year, he wishes for the time, then hands it back to the only thing he was ever certain he could do well. The wish and the life have been at war for decades. So far, every year, the life has won. There was one birthday in the loud years when the distance was sharpest. It was during one of the seasons of triumph. By every external measure, he had everything. The companies soaring, the fortune beyond comprehension, the name among the most powerful on the planet. The tide of wishes came in higher than ever. He was surrounded by people, a gathering full of important guests genuinely glad to be near him. The room was warm. The wishes were sincere. From the outside, it was everything a birthday is supposed to be. And in the middle of it, he felt more alone than he had in years. This is the loneliness no one warned you about, the loneliness of being celebrated. It is one thing to be alone in an empty room. It is a sharper thing to be alone in a full one, to stand at the center of a crowd gathered entirely for you and feel that almost no one there knows the actual person the party is for. They know the figure, the name. They toast the legend. And the man inside the legend stood there on his own birthday, quietly wishing he were somewhere smaller, with one or two people who knew him before any of this, who would have celebrated the day just as warmly if he had built nothing at all. He smiled. He thanked everyone. And at some point he found a window, slipped to the edge of his own party, and made the same wish he always made. More time with the few who knew him before it ran out. Now he is 55. There is an age at which a birthday stops being only a celebration and becomes also a kind of accounting. Somewhere in a person's 50s, the arithmetic of a life quietly changes. There are simply fewer birthdays ahead than behind. The runway shortens. And whatever else he is, Elon Musk is a deeply thoughtful man and cannot reach an age like this without feeling the shift. The wish at 55 lands differently than it did at 35. At 35, a man wishing for time is wishing for something abstract, something he assumes he has plenty of, something he is choosing to spend on the work because there will surely be time for the rest of it later. Later is the great lie that ambitious people tell themselves. There will be time later. The companies will be stable later. I will be present later. I will rest and reach out and be there later.
At 55, later has started to arrive. And a man begins to understand, in his body and not just his mind, that the time he kept promising to claim someday is not a guarantee. That some of the people he meant to spend it with are older now too. That some windows, like the one he stood at on his birthday all those years ago, do not stay open forever. You can hear it, if you listen, in the way he has begun to speak about time in recent years, with a new urgency, a new tenderness, the way a man does when he has started to feel the edges of the thing he once thought endless. The wish has not changed in 55 years, but the man making it has finally grown old enough to understand exactly what he has been wishing for, and how much of it he has already let slip past, while building the future for everyone but himself.
So what has the day been trying to tell him all these years? A birthday, in the end, is a strange and honest little mirror. Once a year, it holds itself up and asks quietly, "Here is another year of your one life. What did you do with it? And what will you do with the next?" For most of us, the answer is ordinary, and that is its own grace. We spent the year on the people we love, mostly, between the work that keeps the lights on. We were present, imperfectly, for the ones who needed us. The mirror is kind because we have nothing too large to regret. For Elon Musk, the mirror has always shown something more complicated. A year of staggering achievement, of building things that will outlast him by centuries. And folded inside it, a year of the same quiet absence, the dinners missed, the moments handed to the work, the time wished for, and then, once again, not taken. He has given the world an almost unimaginable amount. That is simply true, whatever you think of him. The rockets are real. The future he helped pull into being is real. The strangers sending their million wishes are not wrong to be grateful. But the day was never really about the rockets. Underneath the noise, his birthday has been trying, year after year, to tell him the oldest and simplest truth there is, that a life is measured not by what you build, but by who you are present for while you build it. That the time he keeps wishing for is the time he is, even now, allowed to claim. That the window is still open, today, on the very day the wish is made. Whether he will ever walk through it, no one knows. Perhaps not even him. But somewhere today, while the world celebrates a figure it admires, a real man will slip to the edge of the noise, look up at the sky he has loved since he was a lonely boy, and wish, one more time, for the one thing he has never let himself keep. And maybe this is the year he finally hears what the wish has been telling him all along. If this story reached something in you, you belong here. Subscribe and stay. There are more of these still to come.